Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to have you again. With what is happening in the country, it's very clear that no one is exempted from the issue of insecurity. That's why some few days ago we saw what happened in the Senate, and even the governors now are so angry with the state of insecurity in Nigeria. Nigerians are overly tired with what is going on, and right now something very dramatic is about to happen some days from now, talking about the month of May, and you're going to hear it. It's not just going to be happening in one city, or it's not going to be a one group thing that will happen, but it's going to be myriads of human rights groups that are about to come together to do something that will shut down Nigeria, and that's what we want to look at in a jiffy. But before we continue, if you're not subscribed to our channel, kindly hit the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. All right, according to the news, the Civil Society Joint Action Coalition, a coalition of 44 civil rights groups, has vowed to shut down the country from Monday, May 26, 2021, along with other anti-government actions scheduled to express their displeasure with the state of Nigeria. The coalition, in a statement titled State of the Nation, a call to action, and signed by all 44 members on Thursday, they cry how President Muhammadu Buhari-led government had ignored its demand that it should provide good leadership amid the growing insecurity and other crises in the country. And it says, we are appalled to note that in spite of our strongly worded statement, President Buhari's government has failed to heed our call to fulfill his role as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces and Nigeria's democratically elected president. We are therefore left with no other option than to take action to drive home our call to government. We are therefore calling on all Nigerians to register their displeasure with the state of affairs across the country by participating in a national shutdown from Monday, the 26th of May 2021. Participate in sovereign or solemn assemblies across the country to commemorate the 4th National Day of Mourning and Remembrance of Victims of Mass Atrocity on May 28, 2021, and boycott all Democracy Day activities on May 29, 2021 in protest of the deplorable state of our democracy. We again call on the federal and state government to rise up to their constitutional duties as enshrined in Section 14, subsection 2b, to ensure the security and welfare of all Nigerians and pull the nation back from the path of destruction. The coalition had in February called on the government to end impunity for abuse of power and sectionalism through his appointment by balancing the need for competence with the federal character principle. In this way, we will demonstrate that every part of Nigeria matters as sectional appointment appears to fuel sectional violence. Take responsibility and end the persecution of the media and free speech, both of which are foundations of a democratic state. Speaking on the level of insecurity in the country, it stated, in the first quarter of 2021, January to March, we recorded an all-time quarterly high of almost 2,000 fatalities from mass atrocity incident across the country. This week, across the 6 geopolitical zone, there were escalated combustions of violence resulting in even more deaths. In February 2021, they had cataloged the assortment of mass atrocity plaguing the country. The issue highlighted by the group include the unending war in the northeast, with our troops often bearing the brunt of these government security failures, gross injustice by President Buhari's government against Nigerian people, such that peaceful protesters are threatened and attacked by the government security agent, while terrorists carrying out mass murder, maiming, and kidnapping of Nigerians, including women and children, are feted, mollycoddled, granted amnesty, and paid by the government, and industrial-scale kidnapping all across the country. The group had also asked the government to stop the terrorist header attack on unarmed farmers farming communities and reprisal attack in the face of government inaction and failure to bring the headsmen and their funders to justice. Large-scale attack in the northwest irresponsibly tagged by the government as banditry in a bid to downplay their criminality. Extrajudicial killing by state security agents in various forms, inter-ethnic violence and menace of political cult gangs and ethnic militia. This is a good one, I tell you, because what we are encountering right now has gone far beyond expectation. Now, shockingly, there's another news that I saw, which I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. And it has to do with, some of the militias and some of those who were involved in all this issue of insurgency, who dropped their weapon in faraway places like Zamfara State. Unfortunately, some of them have abandoned the amnesty program that they were part of, and they have returned back to the bush, because I believe that some of them have come to a point whereby they must accept that being in the bush and doing their kidnapping or insurgency business pays a great deal. And all of this is traceable to the fact that the government is not doing all in its power. Now, look at the situation that we have at hand right now. Virtually everyone is calling on the government to bring in international communities, bring in people to help you. United States of America, when they were faced with this issue of, plague that came into the world, when they were faced with it, they had to ask China for help. And that's it. You cannot be self-sufficient as a nation. There are one or two things at one point that you may be lacking. You bring in people who will fix it. If you are genuine enough that you are truly there for the people and they elected you into the position of leadership. And that's what most people are expecting. But unfortunately, all the cries, all the wailing, Nigerians are not hearing anything. Instead, you will hear most of the media representative of the president coming out to make statement that, boils and combusts the society more and more. The tension is increasing on a daily basis. Look at what is happening in the southeast. Look at what is happening in the north. Niger State, these Boko boys have already taken over some, local government. Shiroro has been taken over. Jahi has been taken over. They've gone as far as hoisting their own flags there. We are hearing some unthinkable things happening. For example, say the Air Force mistakenly wiped up the military that were going to help out, to fight Boko Haram, and all of that. Something that you can't even explain. So it clearly shows that the security architecture of the country can no more work as expected. So we need help. So because the helps are not forthcoming, these 44 guys that's 44 human rights group have decided to say no need for us to think of celebrating anything like Democracy Day, because from what we are seeing here in the country, democracy is not happening. So imagine if NSAS kind of protest takes place again in the country. What will be the position of the government? I think at this point, it's high time the federal government wake up to its responsibility of doing the demands, the needs of the people, doing what they are asking. Man, nobody has the fullness when it comes to knowledge. You're looking at here and there. It must not come up from your cabinet or from APC. APC as a noun is not important. PDP is not important. What is important is the people, that you have sworn to protect, the people whom you have sworn to take care of them. If they are crying and wailing, there's nothing like party structure here. You've got to wake up and handle it once and for all. 26 is the date that they have slated. They are going to hit the streets and register their displeasure, and they have already sent signal out to all Nigerians to be out there, and it will move from that 26 down to 28 just to make sure that any activity of Democracy Day is not functional as at then. But then I believe that if the government start now to correct some of the ills, some of the issues that we are having, such protests will not hold. Don't forget that the last one we had, we are still yet to recover from it. It painted Nigeria in a very bad light. So imagine if 44 human rights group decide to do what they're about to do. What will be the situation of the country that we cannot fully explain? Already we've seen a lot is happening. We've heard from even those who were staunch supporter of Buhari. They are now crying out and saying, hey, from all indication you can't handle it, you better step aside and all of that. So we are waiting to see what the response of the federal government will be. We'd like to leave it there. Go to our comment section and let's Let's talk. What do you think? How potent do you think these, call it a threat from this 44 human rights group will be? Thank you very much for watching. Do well to